Hi, I'm Cassidy, and this is my knitting podcast. First video, so we'll see if I ever feel confident enough to post it, but I love watching other knitting podcasts on YouTube, and so I figured I should give it a shot. I don't claim to have a ton of knitting experience. I've only been knitting for about 4 years, and in that time it's been like 8-ish projects I've actually completed, but I love knitting so much. I just don't have a lot of free time to do it. I've got 3 little toddler boys and they take all of my time when I'm not at work. So we'll see how far this goes, but hopefully it goes okay. I don't have a lot of editing experience, so if the video is rough, I'm really sorry, but you'll always regret it if you don't try it, so we're gonna try it. So, a little bit about me. I live in Utah, have my whole life. I'm married for, it'll be 8 years this year. And we've got 3 little boys. I've got twins that are 3.5 and a 2-year-old. And they're all crazy little boy. So, I don't get a lot of time, but right now they're being really good. So, we'll see if they let me. I am a nurse. I've done labor and delivery, NICU, peds, adults, research, kind of do everything. And right now I work as a NICU nurse and it's fun and I love it. I get my little newborn baby fix and then I come home and get a full night's rest until I have to be a toddler mom. So, let's see. I am not wearing anything knitted. Obviously, I know that's kind of a common start to these podcasts. It is really hot right now and I have 0 summer knits, so probably won't be wearing anything for a while. But what I thought would be fun is to start off with the first thing I ever knit and what got me into knitting. So this, I'm going to show you the back, is a Marius sweater that I knit for my husband. The pattern was by Sandnes Garn yarns, and so is all the yarn. I taught myself to knit on this sweater. So, background, my husband served an LDS mission in Norway, and he did that before we ever met. And when we were dating, and he was telling me about it, he told me about these sweaters that they had, and that it's a really classic pattern over there, and how he always wanted one, but as a missionary, you don't have a ton of money, and he just never could afford it. So, after we were married for about 2-3 years, I thought, you know what, I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to teach myself to knit. Before then, I had just crocheted. So I was like, I'm going to teach myself to knit, and I'm going to order all the yarn from Norway, and I'm going to make him this Norwegian sweater. And so I did, and I redid that ribbing like 6 times. I could not get it down, and then I finally got it down. Didn't know how to do increases. I just did them how I thought they should be done. It was not the right way. So whoops, and had to restart. And I didn't want him to know about it. So it was all in secret, and like he would go to work and I would knit, and I would go to work and knit during free time. Sometimes as a nurse you have like a less than busy shift, so especially nights, like when patients are sleeping. So I would knit then, and then I would knit like when I would go out of town and he wasn't there. And the whole project took me over 3.5 years, okay? Because we had 3 boys in that time. It's like he just got this last year. So, it was a great learning experience, and when I do a project, I don't start small. Never have, probably never will. I jump off in the deep end and I'm gonna do what I want to do. Socks don't really interest me to knit. Hats, I don't wear hats. Not a lot of people I know wear knitted hats. They all wear like the baseball hats, so I wasn't gonna waste time learning to knit that. So I was teaching myself on this sweater, and he had no idea, and I was able to keep a successful secret for 3.5 years and give it to him. So that was awesome. I finished a couple of projects during this time because my little side note, my husband just has a gift where if he wants something and you're planning on surprising him with it, you will purchase it, and an hour later he'll tell you, I think I'm just gonna buy it. I think it's time. I'm gonna get it. And then you have to tell him, I already bought it. And so when I was working on this and knitting, and we were pregnant with our twin boys, he asked me, do you think you could learn to knit? And I was like, I swear, if you ask me to knit you that sweater, I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind. And I was like, yeah, maybe, what do you want? And he actually wanted me to knit the Christmas stockings that his grandma had knit all of her grandkids. He wanted our kids to have matching. So I knit 3 stockings in total while this sweater was being done. And I also did a baby bear suit for my little boy. And I started a sweater for myself. So that's the background. That's how I got into knitting. Kind of a long story, sorry. But I really loved it ever since. And I kind of love that the first project was like a Norwegian project, because he has just incorporated a few things about the culture for me in our home, and I am in love. I actually have a friend who lives in Norway right now, and we met through a yarn swap, and it's just been really fun to get to know her. We've sent a package back and forth, and we are actually going to meet in August. We're going to go to the Flock Fiber Fest in Seattle, so I'm really excited for that. I've never done anything to that, like, sorry, one of my kids is screaming, I'm distracted. I've never done anything like that big for a Fiber Fest, so I'm super excited, and I'm stoked to meet her for the first time. And maybe she'll see this video. I don't want to mention her name without permission, but we'll see. Maybe I'll talk to her about it. But, okay, moving on. We will do other finished objects that I have lately. And this, oh, sorry, it's been folded, so there's like a huge crease. But, and there's the back. This is a Skift sweater by Jessica McDonald Design. I knit it in Borrcco vintage. I lost the ball band for the gray, but the red is black currant. I knit the largest size she had on the pattern, but I knit it all twisted, like twisted stitches, because I like the really tight look that gives, but I know that alters sizes of patterns a little bit. I knit this for my boys to kind of just share. I had the intentions of just giving it to one of my twins, put it on him. He hates it. He thinks it's too itchy. The other 2 boys, they don't really seem to care. So we'll probably just pass it between them. My goal as a mom is to knit them each their own individual items that they can then save for their kids maybe. And if they choose to go to college or on a mission or something, I think it would be fun for them to each get like a sweater when they graduate, so they can take that with them wherever they choose to go. This was really fun. It took me, let's see, I started this in in October. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time to knit, so there probably won't be a ton of finished objects here for a while. But yeah, I started this when I went on a trip with my sister and my cousin on the plane. So let's see, it's June now, so trying to do the math. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So like 8 months, which for a kids knit with other people that I've seen knitting, that is a ridiculous amount of time. But I've worked on other things, finished other things. This was kind of my take in the car on road trips, take to work just because it's smaller. That's kind of when I did that. But it's cute. I love it. There's pictures of them wearing it on my Instagram. And that is on under Mama Needs a Minute, and the minute is spelled M-I-N-I-T. I'll put it in the comments or something. And that's also my TikTok. And I do a few little things on those, not a ton. But that's kind of what I finished lately. Not very exciting. I'm sorry. This is probably just going to seem like the weirdest podcast, and I'm so sorry, but we're going with it. So I guess we'll move on to works in progress, kind of just following the flow of other people's podcasts that I've seen. And my biggest one right now is the Annie sweater by Helen Moo and Scapel. I'm doing this as a knit along through Scandy Stitches. She started it. I started this back in March, and a lot of people in the knit along have already finished, but I mean, for all over color work in my time, I feel like I've completed this pretty fast for me. It's just in the Spinville by Scapel. I bought the kit, and their colors don't really have names, they have numbers. So it's like 5001 for the white. The orange, I don't have one with a ball band on. And then there's like 5021 for like the pink. But it's going by really fast. It's my first time using Spinville yarn, and sometimes I get a little worried. I've asked the group chat. There's a very nice person who's doing it with us. She goes by Dirtbag Knits on all of her stuff. She's been super kind to help me with any questions I have with the pattern. But I just feel like the yarn kind of gives a uneven texture to it. And again, I am knitting in a twisted stitch throughout it all, because I'm like, full transparency, I didn't know I was knitting twisted, and I've been doing it for the last, like, since I started that sweater, and I am working on my tension and learning how to knit the correct way where they're not twisted. I know everybody says there's no right or wrong way of knitting. As long as it's all done the same, you just call it a design choice. So for my first couple of projects, that is my design choice. But I'm really excited. Sorry, I keep playing with that. I don't know what to do. I just have to finish the raglan decreases and then do the collar, and then I can block it. And like, the sleeves were a little bit tight, but everybody says that this just grows when you block it. Like, it just kind of blooms out. So hoping that will be the case. But super excited. Scandy Stitches posted herself wearing this sweater like, I feel like it was over 2 years ago or something, and I'd actually bought the pattern because I'm like, one day I will make that. And then she came up with the knit along, and I was like, it's my chance, I'm gonna do it. And it's been really enjoyable. The knit along group's been really kind and really fun, and again, I just feel like I'm a slower knitter, so haven't gone too far. The other work in progress that I actually have started, sorry, it's in this bag, I'm trying to get it open. Oh, we're just gonna bring the bag over here. This is my granny bag. Can't remember where I got it, but I like it. I like kind of the older vibes here. I am working on, there's not very much to see with it yet. I can bring it up closer. This is the Ingrid sweater, or it will be when she's further along, by Petite Knit. I am using, we've got Tin Silk Mohair, is the mohair in it, by Sandnes Garn, and the color is just 1012, and I've paired it with, sorry, I'm not prepared. Next time maybe it will go a little smoother, yeah? I mean, first time's always rough, right? It's Fable by Rama Garn, and the color is just 01. I am knitting in the medium size with the hopes that it'll be pretty oversized because, okay, I did not gauge swatch for this. I have not gauge swatched for anything that I have made, and I know that's like scary. After I finish the Annie sweater and I have plans to start another knit, I'm going to start gauge swatching because I think I need to, because things don't fit 100% like I want them to. But I have not gauge swatched for this. I am going off the notes of Scandy Stitches. I love her. I just really click with whatever she makes. She made herself this sweater in these yarns, and she said she knit the medium, and hers is like super oversized, looks super comfy, and I was like, that's beautiful, I want it. It looks like the perfect like winter white sweater. Like just throw on a pair of jeans or leggings and you'll just feel like all nice and hallmarky cozy. So I'm following what she did. I'm not too far because the Annie sweater takes up a lot of time, and this is also like a very all over textured knit that's gonna take me a while. So I'm saying a lot, I know, sorry, but we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it just turns out the way I want and it goes beautiful. Speaking of swatches, I don't have one over here with me, but to teach myself and to get more used to knitting and feeling more confident, I am doing the Master Hand Knitter certification course, and I've done 2 swatches for that so far, and I'm not doing those twisted. That's what I'm kind of using to get myself used to knitting the normal way, I guess. I don't really know what to call it, like just not twisted. And it's kind of cool. It teaches you all different kinds of techniques. Like you're self-taught, but you have to do like a total of 18 swatches, and you block them, you send them in. There's like a report you have to do. You have to do a pair of mittens at the end, and you have to answer all these questions and give resources to like how you taught yourself to do that, basically. And so those are my first swatches I've ever really done, and they're not as bad as I thought. Like with all these other projects, I just didn't want to waste the time, didn't want to waste the yarn, and I'm very much the person where I'm going to figure it out as I go, but I think I'm going to like my finished objects a little bit better if I know what I'm like working with when I swatch. And I didn't really realize like truly how important it was. I know on other like podcasts and videos, you know, I would kind of get mixed. Like some people are like, oh, I never swatch, and other people are like, I swatch everything. And I'm like, really? Like how much does it matter then? You just kind of get what you get, end product. But as I've gotten more into like the knitting world and finding all these different types of yarn, which some yarn, that's expensive. You want to like what you put in, and you're spending all these hours. So I figure it's time. So I'm trying to push myself to be a swatching person. Because mainly I just like to knit garments. I've done like cardigans, like I said, the baby bear suit. I did those stockings, but sweaters are what I love to look at. They're what I like to dream about making, and they take a long time. So that is my plan moving forward. Sorry if this is like really jumpy or not enjoyable. I'm really sorry. If you're sticking with me, thank you. Hopefully the next video, whenever that happens, will be a little bit smoother. But I mean, as a mom, you gotta take the free time you have. So this is what's happening, and I'm not as prepared as I thought. So I guess that's all for my works in progress, and we can move on to more of like the acquisition phase. Like I said, I'm going to that Flock Fiber Festival, so I'm trying to be good and not buy any yarn until I go there. But I did have to buy some yarn for a project. I got a pre-order that I pre-ordered like in November. It finally arrived. So I have that, and then I did splurge and get myself something really fancy. So we'll start for the yarn with the project, because I guess that will kind of go into my next like whip. This year I made one of my grandma's the home cardigan, and I can't remember who that's by. I'll have to look and I'll put a comment. But I knit her that in like a very pretty blue, put some like little vintage antique buttons on it, and she just loved it so much. So I decided to knit my other grandma the same one, the same cardigan, just in a very different color. So I've got these two to pair together. This is Camaro's Snufnug, which I think stands for snowflake. I used the same yarn in the last cardigan, and this is the color Aubergine, and I'm gonna pair it with Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair Bordeaux. That was embarrassing. I think it'll kind of, I wanted this, like, when I looked at this online, I thought this had a little bit more of a cranberry tint to it, but it is very purple, especially compared to the Knitting for Olive Mohair. I think that will kind of add just like the wine kind of cranberry color that I'm really looking for. She will look really pretty in this. I think it'll match her hair and her skin tone very nicely. So my plan is finish the Annie sweater. Her birthday is in September, so I'm hoping that I can just cast this on and get it done in September. The last one took me like 2 months, maybe, in my free time. And I'm getting a little bit more of that now as my kids get older. They don't necessarily want me there guiding their play. They, like right now, they're all just out playing with the hose in the backyard, which all the power to them. So, that is that. Then that pre-order that I ordered forever ago, which, okay, I did not realize how big these balls of yarn were. But there is a knitter, I think, who I saw it from is the Violent Cat Lady, I think is her Instagram. She posted a sweater, and it was just like a plain stockinette sweater. There's not much to it, in the Lang Cloud Tweed. And this one is the colorway 1122 or 0004. But she knit a sweater in this, and it kind of looked like a rainbow kind of trout fish. And I love to fish. We go like river fishing every year as with my mom's side of the family, and it's super fun. And I saw it and I ordered it. This is not an easy yarn to find or come by, and I don't know why, but they're huge, like seriously. So I am going to just plan on making like a similar sweater. I've already done the Sonia sweater by Petite Knit, and that one turned out okay. I didn't swatch for that one, and I don't super love how it fits. Like, it fits decent, but it's not what I had in mind. So I'm not sure exactly when I'll get around to using this and what sweater I'm going to make, but that is my plan for like a little fishy sweater. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 6 balls of this. So when it came, like, the bag was huge, and my husband's like, "What did you buy?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my pre-order." I was so excited because I had ordered this on a work email at my old job. Had to leave that job for our reasons, so I could be with my kids more, because my husband's actually in NP school and he's doing his clinicals. So we need me to be home more, and so I left that job and I lost access to that email account, and I was like, I'm never going to know if that yarn's coming or not, because from November to June, that's quite a long time for a pre-order of like a pretty like well-produced yarn. I think it's just really popular and hard to get, but there is that. So if you have suggestions for that, that would be great. I don't even think I told you what kind of yarn it was. It is a superwash, and I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm such a novice at this. I don't even know what weight it is, but you can look it up, I guess. Sorry. In the next episode, I will have better notes, and I will be better prepared. So hopefully I'm not annoying you guys too bad and you've stuck with me this far. The last thing I bought is the Thread and Maple knitting binder. Knitting Traditions posted this on hers, and then I followed them for over a couple of months, like on Instagram, and I finally broke down and I got it. Just where I'm going to be traveling, and I hope we'll be traveling more like the sooner my husband gets done with school and everything. And it just sounded nice to have all of my needles in one place. I got this at the beginning of the week, so I haven't really gotten much into it, but I got the chocolate color. So that is my Chiagu Forte interchangeable sets. Oh no, that is. Yes. No. You guys. This is all of my, yeah. I'm so confused. This is my interchangeable, like, shorty sets, I believe. And I bought the three. I bought the red ones, the blue ones, the yellow ones, and they all fit on one page. So that's really nice. And then this is my Chiagu interchangeable Forte set. And you can fit like all of your cables and stuff in the back of that bag. And then this will be for some of my circular knitting needles, which I have like a case. Maybe I'll show you one time how I store those. And then I've got some of my DPNs back there. And I still have like a zipper in the back to use for something, and I still have this pocket. But they're really nice quality. They are an investment for sure. They're not just something that I purchased lightly. But I think it'll be great long term. So anyway, that is it. This is kind of like a short little introduction video. Sorry if I seemed distracted, confused. It's really hard sometimes to do these kind of things with three littles, but I wanted to do it, and I am just put myself out there. So we'll see. Hopefully it was all okay. Suggestions or comments, hopefully not too mean of ones, feel free to leave. And I'm hoping to like post again in like a month or so, maybe 3 weeks, I think would be a good turnaround time. But hopefully I'll see you again next time, and thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Bye.